Sit back, get comfortable. That's what you say.
Ladies and gentlemen, the show is about to start in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Not just smart, they heal Mars. They're not just smart, they heal Mars. They're not just smart, they heal Mars. They're not just smart, they heal Mars.
Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, fans and friends, we are back once again. I am the custodian of charisma. I am the ophthalmologist of optimism. She is the sultan of sarcasm and the sorceress of sass. I am the ghost. She is the coat. I am Brady. She is Danielle. We are the best friends in all the land. We are the heel marks, and this is Mark of Honor, everyone's favorite Ring of Honor post show. Danielle, I loved watching your face during that new little countdown intro.
It caught me off guard. I wasn't prepared for it.
It was like you were on a roller coaster.
I know. I was like, what's it? I was like, is this the right one? Is it going to say something else? I was like, oh man,
a roller coaster ride of emotions, much like tonight's Ring of Honor was. We had a lot of action. We had a lot of women's action. I believe we only had, off the top of my head, 3 men's matches, maybe 4. But most of the night was dominated once again by the women, not just the women, but the women's television title tournament. Once again, to all of our viewers, to all of our listeners, thanks for tuning in. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, follow wherever you're watching us here. Don't forget to support the BodySlam.net network at slamchats.com. Make a donation, join the conversation. We want to talk to you just as much as we are going to be talking to each other tonight. Once again, we're talking everything Ring of Honor. Danielle, I'm going to ask you the same question I asked you last week. First, we had a lot of women's TV title tournament matches tonight. Which one was your favorite?
Ooh, which one was my favorite? Ooh, I think the Red Velvet and Sandra Moon. Is that her last name?
Sandra Moon.
I think that matches her. I really like Red Velvet. I like her a lot. I love watching her wrestle.
Yeah,
this was my favorite.
Red Velvet's very ready now.
Yes.
Like she has been good for a long time. Like we've talked recently about the fact that like one of her first big matches on Dynamite was teaming with Cody Rhodes against Jade Cargill and Shaquille O'Neal, where you just look at the names in that match. She had to do the heavy lifting. That was Jade's first match. That was Shaq's first match. You know what I mean? So a lot fell on her shoulders, and she really held up, and she never really got rewarded up until now. So she really is coming into this TV title tournament with a lot to prove, a lot of momentum, a lot of steam, and it might be her time.
It might be. I think she's gonna go far in this competition. I forgot who she's going up against.
I got you. I will tell you.
I know everybody else. I don't think I wrote down hers, so I don't know who she is.
It's Red Velvet versus Layla Hirsch.
Oh, Layla Hirsch. Yes. I knew that.
And we're gonna end tonight with predictions since we know four matches. So we'll get into that more. But yeah, it's gonna be Red Velvet versus Layla Hirsch.
That's gonna be a good match.
100%.
Yeah. I think all the women that are like slowly making their way, I think all of these matches are gonna be stellar matches.
Yeah, I mean, really, the next round is what I was hoping the first round would be. It was really what I wanted from the tournament because of how much hype there was. I didn't need a first round of essentially enhancement matches, spotlight matches. And last week I complained about it where I was kind of like, I would prefer if most of the first round matches were actually where you don't really know who's going to win because everyone highlighted. I'm not going to harp on that too much this week because, as I said, I said it last week, and we know that it's over now. The first round is done. I do have a fresh complaint, though, something we kind of glossed over last week, though, as just kind of a matter of fact. And now I'm thinking about more, and it's truly something I mind about the first round. Sandra Moon, right? She got some great offense in here. She kind of had like a strong styles type offense where it's very hard hitting, a lot of strikes, and she got it. She got a great near fall. She countered Red Velvet's finisher. She got her in a Fabian Buster. Great near fall. But of course, much like every other match, we're not really buying into the near fall. And it's like last week I complained about why is Sandra Moon or why is a Sussy Love or a Robin Renegade? Why are they even in the first round of this tournament? They've done nothing to deserve it. But it's like for some of them, like a Sussy Love or even a Sandra Moon, like commentary did a good job of putting over reasons why they would get in there.
Yes. Yeah.
But where's the entrance then? Like that's like you could put it over by actually giving them an entrance. Let us get familiar with what their theme song is. Some of these people, some of these women are local talents. So let the hometown crowd. You hear the hometown crowd responding to them because they're familiar with the wrestler. So let them actually give them a pop and get them a little entrance and give us a bit of mystique.
It's funny you say that. I was thinking that for the last match. We'll get it. Not the last match. The men's last match, the 4-way. Why couldn't you just give what's his name?
So it's funny you mentioned that.
Prime. Like,
yeah,
why couldn't you just give him an entrance? All three of these guys got entrance. Just give him a quick entrance.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. The funny thing is, though, I kind of looked at it the opposite way, where so like as the match is happening, right? So I knew going in who was facing in this match, right? We knew who was facing each other, and so I remember when they like Commander comes out and they're like coming out third, and I'm like, holy shit, are they giving Exodus Prime the final entrance? That's crazy. And then in my mind, I'm kind of like, they would never do that with like what they did to the ladies to Exodus Prime. They would never do that. And then they did it. I'm kind of like, okay, well, at least they're not just doing it to the women, because it happened every single women's TV title tournament.
Yeah, it's like just give them a thing. Like, what is that? Especially like it's supposed to go to 9, and lately it's been ending at 8:30 or 8:45. It'll take 2 seconds because they probably don't have this elaborate entrance like everybody else. So just give them an entrance. I think that was silly.
And it's one of those things where it's like, you're not on TV, you're on your own streaming network. So you can take advantage of that. And as I said, a lot of the talent that we see, for example, we go to the opener. It was Taya Valkyrie defeating Sussy Love. Sussy Love was a local talent. So let her come out and get that hometown crowd entrance response. And Sussy Love was, for the record, very impressive in her match. I was
very, very impressed with Sussy Love. As I was watching the whole time, I was like, this makes sense why she's in this tournament. Like, I could definitely see why she's in this. I was like, she was hard hitting. She was a sight to watch.
Yeah, and Caprice did a good job with her in the in the entrance or like the beginning of the match of putting over how Sussy Love is an international talent. She's traveled all over the world, and it's like, this is where we're getting from the best of the world. If you're in this tournament, it really says something about you. It's like, okay, great, man. I'm glad commentary's putting it over, but all you had to do was give us an entrance. Like, let us actually see her name get put under there, and music hits, crowd goes crazy or whatever. Let us see it. Are we supposed to boo her? Are we supposed to cheer? She'd come down, would she smack high fives? Okay, great. You know what I mean? Like, just a little bit, and then we could watch the first round kind of expecting the unexpected. Maybe we would get a surprise. Maybe we would get a 1-2-3 kid finish. But not one woman did I ever actually give a shot of winning, because you're not even giving me an entrance. Going back to Sandra Moon, they put her over, as she's currently a 6-belt champion. She's got championships in different companies. NJPW strong at one point, more recently. So once again, you could have put her over as like, this is a woman. Ask anyone about Sandra Moon. She could upset Red Velvet right now. It's like, but without that entrance, we're not going to buy in. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, it was just weird. Just give them an entrance. Like, who cares? You know, it's not saving time.
And even if it is, why? Like, you're not bound by restrictions. You're not taking commercial breaks. Also, as I said, it's not TV. So people that are tuning in aren't going to randomly change the channel. They're locked in. They chose your streaming network at a specific time because that's when you air it. So whatever you give them, they're going to watch. They're not going to say, oh, I don't know this person. Let me see what else is on. Right. And the live crowd is there also. The person's coming down, right? Like, they don't just walk down quietly. They actually had an entrance, right? That we're just not seeing.
I think they usually just like come down quickly.
That's still stupid.
And quietly. They still come down, right? I also think it's weird too, because if this is a tournament, stop making it easy for us to know who's gonna win. Like, obviously Taya gets an entrance, Sussy doesn't. Right. Obviously we know now Taya's winning, and there's no suspense. Obviously we're not dumb. Like, we know she's winning and advancing, but why not just give her a chance?
But
like,
now it's automatic. Like, now you can
now it's so automatic. Right. And it's like, that's silly to me. I don't know. I completely agree with you.
It's formulaic, where it's basically that's what you do if you have a jobber, if you have a local talent, if you have an enhancement worker. And that, like I said, that was the complaint we had last week, where we're like, the first round shouldn't feel like every week we watch a Ring of Honor. It shouldn't feel like your standard enhancement match. So the only thing they could have done, the only thing they had to do to make these matchups seem more significant and actually put over a Sussy Love and put over a Sandra Moon and a Viva Van for simply being in the tournament is give them an entrance and make these matches feel different. Because the truth is, in the ropes, the matches did feel different. These matches got much more time than they usually do. A lot of offense. Definitely. Most of these women got pretty impressive near falls.
Yeah.
So, there was no real reason to just give away the finishes before the bell rang.
Yeah. I don't know their logic there. It just doesn't. It didn't make sense to me.
And like right now, so let's talk about Abaddon versus Viva Van. Van, and they highlight when like Viva Van's names comes up. They highlight this is her 2024 debut. Right. So like once again, the first question I'm then gonna ask is, oh really? Well then, why is she in the tournament? So it's like just give me a reason to not be. You know what I mean? Not be.
Maybe she has a banger entrance. There are wrestlers that's gotten over, and we know this with their entrance music. With music, with no.
By the way, right, and I do apologize. It was not Sandra Moon. It was actually Viva Van, who is the 6-belt champion.
Oh, okay. That's a big deal. But that's a big deal.
Right, and another big deal, Viva Van, according to her Twitter anyway, I have not done the research to confirm this, but apparently she's the first Vietnamese American pro wrestler.
And that's a big deal too. If that's
100%, right.
I just don't understand their logic. It doesn't like we said, like it's not saving time. It's not like they don't go over ever.
Right. So the matches were great. It was 100% because of what the women did. The show did not do the little bit that they needed to do to really help elevate everyone in it by saying that this is the TV title tournament, the first ever of its kind. This is a platform. So everyone in this tournament deserves to be there. So let's give them the platform.
Or making people feel like, kind of making it feel like wrestling fans are stupid in a way that it's like, because a lot of wrestling fans associate no entrance with jobber. Like, you immediately think that.
Yeah.
And it's like, if these women are in a tournament, we shouldn't be looking at them as jobbers. We should be looking at them as competition for the people that we are familiar with ROH. And these people are in here for a reason.
Exactly. It's all about the presentation. 100% all about the presentation.
ROH. Come on.
And then it's like, it's funny. So look at Big Shotty Lee Johnson.
I hate that he's Big Shotty. I hate it. I don't know why. Every time they say it, I'm just like, just call him Lee Johnson. I can't figure out why. I just don't.
But Lee Johnson and Sonico, they had a good match, right? And and they both got entrances. But it's like, so this match was cool, but it shouldn't feel like this match is more important than any match in the women's TV title tournament, right?
Because this wasn't even a match to elevate anybody. It's not like, oh, if someone wins this match, they get a shot at a title, or they get any, or progressing a storyline.
It's continuing Lee Johnson's momentum. He's developing a winning streak.
And that's fine.
Over that he's getting highlighted. Cool. But once again, as you said, he's got no story. They haven't really established a character. He's kind of directionless, for lack of a better term.
Right.
So yeah,
But these get an entrance.
Right, and I'm not taking it away. I think everyone
should have an
entrance. Yeah, exactly.
100%.
Especially when most of it's TV tournament matches.
Yeah.
I thought that this wasn't a good sign for me when I'm watching this match, and I noticed that Saniko, who started the match off by kind of establishing himself as a heel by rejecting the code of honor, but then you notice the crowd was chanting for him as opposed to Shotty Lee Johnson, who is a babyface, a well-established babyface. I'm wondering if
I thought Lee Johnson was a heel.
No, not Lee. Yeah, Lee Johnson's not a heel.
Oh, maybe I'm confusing him with Lee Moriarty.
Yep,
definitely.
Lee Moriarty is a heel, and he is a part of STP. But Big Shotty.
Stone Temple Pilots.
Exactly. Yeah. Coming soon. But yeah, I feel like Shotty might be missing something. He's got a really cool finisher. I think he might work as a heel. Like, I think we might need to turn that page with Shotty Lee Johnson. Maybe get him a mouthpiece, but I don't know. Like, there was something towards the end after the match was over, he had there was just a flash of a really cocky smile that he showed for just a little bit. And it's like, okay, let's focus on that. Let's highlight that. And let's throw our microscope on that aspect, and let's see who this guy could be as a heel. And I think that would be a good next
chapter. It would be a good way of being a heel. Yeah, absolutely. It would be a good transition into being a heel. I almost had heelism.
Heelism. He should study some heelism.
Yeah.
Speaking of heelism, we get Danhausen making his long-awaited return.
Yay!
Long-awaited return to Ring of Honor, taking on Brandon Cutler and Colt Cabana. Are you giving that stink face to both of them? I know you hate Colt.
No, just Colt Cabana.
You don't hate Cutler?
No, he's a cutlet. I don't care about him.
I'll be honest. I knew you hate Colt Cabana. I think the two of them together are like funny they're good for what they are. It's like an old school comedy duo, like the Three Stooges, but just the two of them, like an Abbott and Costello routine type of thing. You know, the spray cans don't work because Danhausen cursed.
I did like that. I thought that was fun.
Each other in the eyes, you know what I mean?
I like that a lot, and I love Danhausen. I was so excited for Danhausen, and then I was like, ugh, Colt Cabana's here. Yeah, Brandon Cutler's fine.
I mean, I actually feel like these two, in terms of Danhausen and Cutler, were like a perfect pairing for each other.
Oh, yeah, they played off of each other so well because they're both silly.
Yeah, and like they're both characters who are over the top, but they don't really take themselves that serious.
Right, and can go, and can actually wrestle.
Right. Like,
it's not just all being silly.
Right, like we see Cutler do the airplane spin, and the airplane spin was awesome and impressive, and there was a switch.
I like the airplane spin.
But then he gets himself dizzy, which is, like I said, that's just comedy. You know, that's just funny.
Classic comedy.
Classic comedy. One thing I liked about it was that Caprice pointed out, kind of gave us a little inside baseball where he's like, you're supposed to look at the same spot when you do the airplane spin.
When skaters and ballerinas do it, they always stare at the same spot.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
A big old mess.
I wouldn't be able to stare at the same spot. I would get myself dizzy no matter what. I would not be able to stare at
yeah, that's how they do it. Ballerinas do that shit all the time.
But yeah, so I enjoyed him giving us little tricks of the trade in terms of explaining why Cutler fucked himself up. Danhausen just as over as when he left. Like, I love
him.
I love everything he does get a reaction. And like, it's just a testament that it really is a character-driven business. And
100%.
This isn't a wrestler-strong company in terms of AEW as a whole. Ring of Honor is probably even more wrestling-centric than AEW. So
always has been, too.
Right. And so for a Danhausen and a Cutler and Cabana to be able to get their characters over and get responses from the crowd and work off each other, I thought that they had a lot of great chemistry, all three of them together. So, yeah, I dug this match, and especially with most of the matches on tonight's card meaning something, whether they were a TV title tournament match, whether it was a Ethan Page chasing the title match, whether it was an actual title match. I felt like this was like a welcome break that didn't feel like a buffer break. It felt like you still needed to pay attention because we had a big return out of it.
Fresh air. It felt like something fresh.
Right. Wrestling should and often does feel like a variety show.
And that's how it should be, always. Yeah.
The entertainment portion of the evening. We say it all the time about, with Ring of Honor, we wish we had more stories. I wouldn't mind seeing an actual program with these guys.
Oh, yeah.
Selfishly, I was hoping Brandon Cutler actually got the win, only because I figured that would actually continue it. You don't usually see that where, like the heel foil actually gets the win as opposed to just, putting over the babyface with a smile on his face. So I would have loved to see Cutler and Cabana cheat. Danhausen gets foiled, and then maybe we see who's going to help Danhausen on Ring of Honor in future weeks to counter it. But
yeah,
instead, we kind of just move on, and we hope to see Danhausen again. We're also hoping to see our Ring of Honor television champion show up. However, the streets are saying the reason why Kyle Fletcher has not appeared on Ring of Honor television in so long is because there are current visa issues keeping him. So that's what the streets are saying. That's what the rumor spheres got for us. So that makes, I'm a bit more forgiving.
I will say,
yes,
Ethan Page promo he cut was so good. Stay off television. Don't come here. When you come back, I'm gonna be over. It's gonna be electric. Like him just saying all that stuff was so great. I didn't know the visa issue thing, but it was so great. Don't come back. We don't want, no, it's fine. Stay where you are. Like I loved that. I thought it was so great.
It makes me appreciate Ethan Page, but also just this Ethan Page story even more. And we don't really, at this stage, I might have to go back and see what happened first. If this story started around the time that Fletcher had these issues, did it start before Fletcher was still on TV? I got to remind myself. But either way, they were put in a tough spot where the champion who was on every single show was becoming a fixture. He can't make it to TV anymore. There's issues. Right. And so now they don't lose anything. Whereas, for example, Eddie Kingston is not on the show, hasn't been in a while. Not one person is saying, I want to be Ring of Honor champion. Not one person is saying, where's my title to fight for? Everyone's ignoring it, right? Kind of reminds us when like Brock Lesnar was champion and instead the Intercontinental title was just the title or what have you. So it's one of those things where thank you to Ethan Page because he reminds us every week, not only that we have a TV champion, but that it's an important title that he wants. It keeps the TV title relevant every week because you see at least one person coming out, no matter who he's facing. I'm beating you and I'm getting myself closer to the TV title.
And it's not just Ethan Page wrestling random people. It's not like how we've complained about ROH, how like we just see two people having a match and it's like, why are they having a match? Just because they're both tag teams? There's no storyline. This is a storyline. He's like, I'm just going to keep beating people until you see that I deserve a shot at the TV title. And this is what I deserve. And he's going to win the crowd over by winning so much and doing all this. Like when she said, Alicia, I was so happy she was back. I was like, yay. And she said, you're 12-2. And he's like, I don't even want to talk about 2. 2's not there, but 12. I have 12 wins.
Did you say Alicia?
Did I say Alicia? I meant to say Soup.
I was about to say, I was like, who is Alicia?
Sorry. Oh, man. I pulled a Jim Ross, didn't I?
Big time, JR. Big time, JR.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
But yes, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut off
I feel sheepish. You messed up my flow. No, but I love that he said that. He's like, I'm only talking about the wins. He's like, yeah. He's like, I'm going to get one step closer. He's like, the air is going to smell different. I mean, it was such a good promo. It was such a good backstage segment. It's so good.
And you know what's funny? So during his match with Anthony Henry, and quick note, once again, props to commentary, because not only is the streak getting put over in terms of every match. Obviously, Ethan Page's streak grows and his resume and his claim for the TV title shot that he's asking for gets bigger and bigger and bigger. But they're also putting over the fact that anyone who faces Ethan Page can break the streak.
Right.
So right now they've almost got like a little mini accomplishment that Ethan Page gets to go around with every week. Who's going to be the one to end the streak? Is it going to be Anthony Henry? Is it going to be the next guy? So I do like that. Like, it's one of those matches where you're kind of looking at it, and obviously since Ethan Page is one of like 4 or 5 people on the roster that has a story, you're kind of thinking, okay, Ethan Page is getting the win. But because of the fact that Anthony Henry does have something to fight for, in that he wants to be the streak breaker, and Anthony Henry in particular is so methodical with his offense, it allows you to buy in, and it allows you to be like, okay, like this match really does mean something for both guys.
Oh, absolutely. And I think it will mean anybody that goes up against Ethan. They're not just feeding him quote unquote jobbers. Right. They're feeding him people that can break the streak, and it will be a big deal let's say if they break the streak, which I hope they don't.
Also, it's going to be a big deal if and when him and Kyle Fletcher actually do meet, because theoretically, let's assume that Ethan Page continues this winning streak, right? Let's say he gets to 12. Let's say he gets to 15. His winning streak's at 15, right? Or actually, right. Let's say they go real cute with it. Let's say they go 21, right? So his streak is 21-0. And maybe Kyle Fletcher becomes the one in 21-1. So, like, there's ways where Kyle Fletcher could not only would he retain his championship, but he would end Ethan Page's streak, which kind of gives our defending champion, a little feather in his cap, a little extra thing to carry with him to his next feud, to his next title defense.
Absolutely.
So I love what they're doing with this story. During the match, I wrote in my notes, and this is because, of course, how good Page is, but I wrote, great match, hope we get an Ethan Page promo. So later in the night, when all of a sudden he's back there and the segment, and I'm like, yes, this is exactly what I need, because as I said, he's one of the only guys with a story, and he's carrying this story by himself.
And a decent story. It's a good story.
Great story. And every week the story kind of, not even that it changes, we just kind of are highlighting a different aspect of it. For example, I know you're happy that he hasn't mentioned his daughter since that one promo, but of course he does wear the same jacket, the same suit, the same colors that he established in that promo. So I love that we didn't make that the focal point of the program, but he did take one promo to establish an aspect of his hunger, one reason for this story being told. And now every week it's just a different, he takes a different turn. It's not like he's cutting the same promo every week. He's not talking about the same things. The only constant is that, yes, he's calling out the same person and he's saying that I'm coming for the TV title. But as you said, he had a different take this week. It was more of like, where's our TV champion? I don't care, because this is my show.
Yeah, he's like, I'm just going to win everybody over.
Like, everything has changed because of me. So bring that title back whenever you're ready, because I don't think you're going to like this place anymore when you get here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was such a different take. And now we're not even just getting to the point where he's hyping himself up and talking about his journey and his story, for lack of a better term. But now he's finally calling out the champ. So I'm hoping maybe that means we're closer to resolving the visa issues that the streets are attributing his absence to, and maybe Kyle Fletcher's finally going to get a face-to-face. They did announce when the next pay-per-view is going to be. It's going to be WrestleMania weekend, April 5th, I believe, in Philadelphia.
At Temple.
So the assumption would be that match happens then. So there's still plenty of time. Like, there's a lot of time between now and then, to the point where we could maybe even wait like another few weeks. And then if Kyle Fletcher makes his return, maybe by attacking Ethan Page, and we get like him answering the challenge with a brutal beatdown. And then we get like, because this has been a feud that's not been a feud, right? It's kind of just Ethan Page calling him out and talking about why he needs this and why it's important to him. We get an actual feud with these guys for like maybe a month before leading up to the match, where they actually go back and forth. We see somebody get put through a table, somebody get hit with a chair. We see two people that really want to hurt each other. Like that, take my money. You know, that'll just be chef's
absolutely kiss. Yeah. This is built. If they do this correctly, it's going to end up being a great feud, and it's going to be a great thing. If he wins, even if he doesn't win, there's still going to be respect on his name. You know what I mean? Like, there's still going to be really respect there that he went up again. He was beating all these people to get to the TV champion. He wasn't just like, oh, I deserve a match with him. Give it to me now.
Right, exactly. No, the story's been very well done. Interesting, mind you, speaking of stories, we didn't get any real advancements in the distraught Dolphin story. We did
They
not
just briefly mentioned it quickly
Yeah.
when Taya had a match.
Right. But it's one of those weird things only because Dalton's been such a highlight and such a not even just he's more of like sometimes we'll see him 3-4 times in a night. You know, he's usually a go-to for a backstage segment. So I'm surprised they didn't give us anything. Infantry and the Outrunners, they hinted at something last week. We didn't get any advancements. But this isn't necessarily a complaint because, as I said, most of tonight was dedicated to the women's TV title tournament. I believe the one match we didn't really get into was Billy Starkz and Robin Renegade. Our no entrance complaint put aside, this was another good match between two women who can really go. I will say that I don't really buy either of the two as not to say they're not tough. Obviously, everyone who's a wrestler is tough. But their trash talk, I just didn't buy it. When they're like, "Oh, you want some? Come get some!"
Dude, you know how I feel about Robin Renegade's trash talk.
She's
said it
been
before.
better. She's been better.
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of it. I did like that commentary mention that Billy Starkz was wearing all black, which we never really see her in. We usually see her in bright colors. I thought that was a nice little touch.
Huh?
Yeah. They mentioned it. They were like, "Oh, she's not wearing her usual blue and pink bright colors. She's wearing all black, which we normally don't see."
I wonder if she ends up changing her hair color.
Oh, I hope not. I like her cute little hair color. I don't know. But yeah, Robin's smack talk. I was like, sit down.
Right. But once again, there was a hell of a chop that Robin Renegade let Billy Starkz have it. And I like those moments where it's kind of like that's how I know that Robin Renegade is tough. I don't need to hear her say, "You can't do this." I got, you know what I mean? It's just like
I'm tough.
Just hit her.
Just hit her.
Just hit her. And these two have good chemistry to the point where this would be another good matchup, another good feud if they let a lot of the enhancement girls that have become regulars, if they let them play. You know, let Robin Renegade play, establish a character, get a couple wins, and actually get some programs.
They could also do say Billy Starkz after her next match doesn't advance. Maybe Robin's pissed off.
Right.
So Robin starts a feud with her, and now we have a feud. You can start a feud from these tournaments.
You can also have one of these enhancement ladies who lost in the first round cost one of the girls that beat them their match in the next round and continue it. And now all of a sudden you're like, okay, well, this is why they were in the tournament. They're done with enhancement talent. And then after they've now made a name for themselves by interfering in the second round of the tournament, next match they have, give me that entrance. And then now I'll forgive you for not giving me it now because it'll be like an evolution. You'll take me on a bit of a ride.
Oh, yeah, 100%. It's a great way to get storylines. And that's our big complaint about ROH. We need storylines. And I think there's good feuds to be had and good feuds and good storylines to be had. And there's a good way to start it. And this is a great way to start it and get more eyes on these women who came in as just debut and quick little things without an entrance. Give them an entrance. Let people know who they are. Start this up.
Yeah. Now, I mentioned these two had good chemistry together. Gotta throw out a little bit of the bad also because there were some clunky moments. It got a bit clunky. Billy Starkz with the suicide through the ropes and the suicide dive that was a bit sloppy where her leg got caught in and then
that's just scary.
And then she's like, okay, I'm going to do it a second time. And then I'm kind of, all right, I wonder if this is just on the fly where she knows she messed it up and now she's going to do it right. And then she does it and it's just as sloppy. And then I'm kind of and then she's like, I'm going for a third time. And then I'm kind of okay, she has to be doing it on purpose because she's trying, this time she has to be trying to get it right because she knows she fucked it twice, right? But no, the third time was sloppy again, but that was almost intentionally sloppy because she was supposed to get caught on that one.
Right.
So it's if that's the spot you were leading up to, then the fact that you kind of, your leg clunked into the ropes and it was kind of scary looking 2 times in a row makes it even worse. Maybe we should just not do the dive spot for a little while.
Dive spots terrify me. If I was a wrestler, I would never do a dive spot. I am way too clumsy for that.
Mess up. That leg is just pointing the wrong direction, and you're fucked.
I'm way too clumsy for that. I'm not graceful.
And then like right after that spot, Robin Renegade then pulls off kind of like a between the ropes, like a suicide sunset flip, which once again, that was clunky. Like that was kind of scary. She does, refocus, get her momentum back, and ends up turning it into a hell of a power bomb. Big time power bomb. That type of power bomb is like a power bomb that can kind of set Robin Renegade apart in the women's division, I think. Like as soon as because not that not every woman can do a power bomb. I think most of them can. They're all strong, and also most of the women they're facing don't weigh very much. So I do think power bombs can be common. They're just not. You don't see that many women's wrestlers doing the power bomb as just a setup move or even for a near fall. So the fact that we saw her drop her with that big one, I'd like to see that become, more of we can see more powerhouse offense from Robin Renegade with a power bomb like that.
Especially if she's capable of doing it, fucking do it.
Right. Maybe not so much with the sunset flip part, or let's just perfect it.
Just do a regular power bomb.
There's so many different variations of the power bomb. We don't need to go sunset.
What's funny is I think sometimes wrestlers think that wrestling fans want to see more than we really do. Sometimes a good DDT is okay. Sometimes a nice simple power bomb is okay. Sometimes a fucking elbow drop is just okay. Like we like that. It's okay.
And sometimes all the above is okay, and that's what we got from the Four Corner Survival match.
Yeah, we did.
Which has become a weekly fixture. It seems like every week we're getting at least one Four Corner Survival match, and I can't really complain. Commander versus R.A.R. Fox versus Matt Sydal versus Exodus Prime making his Ring of Honor debut. Which, in case you didn't know, was his debut. He didn't get an entrance, so that'll tell you everything you need to know.
If I was a wrestler and I went out in ROH and I was like, "Hey, I know I'm a jobber, or whatever. Am I getting an entrance?" If they said no, I'd be like, "Okay, thank you," and then I wouldn't wrestle.
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah, I would.
That's really what you do. You would refuse to wrestle.
I'd be like, "Can I get an entrance, like a quick one? I'll run
even
really
if you're
fast."
like an enhancement talent who
I'll be like. Yeah, I'll be like, listen to how great my entrance music is. And it'll be so amazing that they'll just have to do it.
This is awesome. This is awesome. Barney Stinson.
Okay, that's definitely not my entrance music.
You sure? What would it be?
100%. I don't know. I'd make Tommy do it. That's not true. Imagine, hey, Tommy, can you make me an entrance song? Thanks.
I'm coming down the ring.
No, he calls me stupid names. He would just be like, I don't know. Yeah, he would just call me poop the whole time like an idiot. I'll be like, Tommy, just do my entrance music, please. No, I have an entrance song. What's it called? So Damn Cool. I can't sing it because I sound terrible. I'll send it to you later. Okay. That would be my entrance song. It's a good fucking song. When I used to do, But that's what would happen. I would show them my entrance music and be like, this is so fantastic.
The listeners look it up. Is this a real song?
Yeah, it's a real song. Hold on.
Who's it by?
Hold on. I got to look it up.
You don't know who's it by? Oh, God. Never mind. All the fans have stopped caring. They don't want to know about this.
It's by Ugly Kid Joe.
Jesus Christ.
What? That's what it's by. It's called So Damn Cool by Ugly Kid Joe. You're welcome. Okay.
All right. Well, then
now watch. Exodus Prime's going to come out with that next week. They're going to be like, oh my God, this song is so good. Now we have to give you.
That would be amazing, actually. That would be amazing.
I'd be so upset. This match was very funny to me because I know how I feel about Matt Sydal sometimes. So there's a part where he's like, use your third eye. And the crowd was just quiet. I was just like, yeah, nobody cares.
Matt Sydal really has not hit for me for like a while.
And I loved Matt Sydal.
Evan Bourne was a big deal. And Evan Bourne barely had a character. Matt Sydal has a full-blown character. And for some reason, I can't get behind it. And doesn't really seem like anyone else does either. Like,
arguably, Evan Bourne has my favorite take on an RKO. That's my favorite RKO. I know people say Seth Rollins, but mine is Matt Sydal's, Evan Bourne, whatever. Yeah, this character just doesn't go. I don't know if it's the stuff that we've seen when he gets like grumpy, but I don't know. There's just something about Matt Sydal that doesn't hit for me.
When he gets grumpy, you're thinking of the Leon Ruff match?
Yeah, he did it again another time too. Remember, he did it twice. He did it with Leon Ruff, and then he did it another time.
I only remember.
It wasn't Evolve. I forgot what show it was. Yeah,
okay.
I was speaking of Evolve. I was happy to see AR Fox. I love AR Fox.
Me too. Also happy to hear that. Yeah, it also Wrestle and Flow did his theme song. Similar, they also did Taya Valkyrie's theme song. So we got two of those.
Yeah, that was exciting. AR Fox is something special.
He's so good. I'm really upset about what happened with him. How like they booked him with a big deal with Swerve, big spot for Wembley. I guess he didn't give them enough advance notice that he wasn't able to make it. Maybe he was trying to get around those issues and he was trying to pull it off. But I just think it's so petty that they just completely abandoned everything they were doing with him. And he's kind of still, it seems like he's just getting off the bench now. Like he's just getting out of timeout now. And you know, as Ring of Honor watchers, we're going to benefit because now he's here.
Definitely.
And it's a great place for him because we get to see him just shine with different opponents every week. But I really do hope he gets the push, the true push he deserves. Wouldn't mind. Like I don't think we need to see him do it alone. He's got a skulk of foxes waiting for him, or waiting for the call.
That day that I found that the skulk was a group of foxes, my mind was blown.
Such a mind fuck. I was like, oh my God.
Obviously.
The whole time.
The whole time. I hope AR Fox is Ethan Page's next opponent. I'd love to see that.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
Yeah, we've seen them work together before. I think this would be great.
I also wouldn't mind, and I said this the week you weren't around, but I said as a prediction, but I'm really more of trying to will it to happen. AR Fox getting recruited by Shane Taylor Promotions, I think would be a great spot for him. It would be similar.
You didn't say this off the thing. You told me.
No. I said it on the this show that you were not on.
Oh, and then you told me it.
And then I told you when you and I told you about the Shane Taylor Promotions but recruitment. But like, yeah, I think that would be a perfect fit. It would be kind of like a redo for what they were going to do with him joining the embassy. Like, let's give him a different stable to join where it can kind of be a fresh start. You're doing it on Ring of Honor as opposed to AEW. So, like let's see how that works. Or give Airbox his own stable, or
don't give him anything and then just let him be a single run and give him something to do because he's so talented and should be doing things.
But I just think AR Fox is more than just a great in-ring worker. His character work, his just like he radiates. He can light up that crowd. He can turn it up. So I hope they let him do it.
Me too.
They let the ladies do it though, as we finished the night strong with I believe they plugged this is the first ever. Probably first ever in Ring of Honor, but maybe just first ever women's 2 out of 3 falls table match for the Ring of Honor Women's Championship, as we saw Athena defend her title against Nyla Rose, successfully putting her through a table 2 times.
Women's matches that involve tables always get me nervous because I always feel like they're not going to break through it.
I wasn't worried with these two though, were you?
No, but I remember like it happened for a minute and then I realized who was in the match and I was like, oh no, I was like, they'll be fine.
Right. Like, I know what you mean sometimes where if you see like
Alexa Bliss is not going through a table.
I mean, like, yeah, like a lot of times you see Alexa Bliss, you see a Liv Morgan, or like even for example, if Billy Starks and Robin Renegade, if that match was a table match.
Oh yeah, they're petite women. And it's hard to like have that force to go through a table.
And a lot of times you do see these women just bounce off tables. And hell, we've seen it happen with men where they bounce off the table. Those tables don't always want to cooperate. However, where it's either Nyla Rose going through a table or Nyla Rose putting someone through a table, not to mention the fact that we've seen these women put each other through tables for the past couple of weeks, I wasn't worried at all. I knew this match was going to deliver, and I knew the tables were going to deliver.
Imagine they kept setting up the tables, and then they're like, we're not doing tables, we're doing ladders. And they just swerved us.
And then R-Truth comes out and is like, what show is this?
They should let R-Truth do something. He should pop up on ROH or AEW or Impact. He needs to pop up. I would love to see him pop up in like New Japan. Just let him do it. Just let him come on ROH. Okay, sorry, I digress. This match was great. Nyla knows how to get heat, man. And it's bad because we were talking about how we kept calling her babyface, and we're like, she's not a babyface. And I'm like, but I want her to be a babyface because I root for her so bad.
Right. No,
so hard.
We wanted Nyla to turn face for so long. We thought that was really the best way to push her and get her over. We thought it had happened until Athena like returned, and then I was like, "Oh, wait a minute, we've been wrong the whole time." Athena's the baby.
A hat named Hat. She didn't have ring gear on that said ring gear. I was very upset.
The big swing and a miss on the
ring
gear.
What a mess.
But no, this match was just fire from start to finish. I mean, they're both powerhouses. You know, it comes across obviously as a powerhouse, but Athena really like they could have done it different. Like they could have done the standard David and Goliath style, where because Athena's smaller, she just kind of could have wrestled that style. But no, like they're both powerhouses. They're both fast. They're both vicious. They're both determined as hell to make this match hurt for their opponent, because they did make this a personal feud. This wasn't just Nyla was coming after the title. She was coming after her minions. She was coming after everything Athena's been fighting for and defending and working for. Athena spoke last week about how personal this feud had become. She was defending her title. She was defending her house. She was defending her sport. So yeah, like this match really delivered. It almost makes me sad that like you assume this feud is over now. And it almost makes me think like if we didn't get it for long enough, you know, like it was just.
Yeah, I don't think it's over though. I think this is going to be a feud for a while, and I'm all for it. Yeah,
it's interesting because I mean, like a 2 out of 3 fall table match is one of those like feud ending matches type of thing. Like if you finish it in the Hell in a Cell, wow, how can we keep feuding? Right? We just went to hell.
I will say I'm not a fan of 2-3 falls matches.
And at all?
Like, no, because I always feel like one gets one gets the other. Who's getting the third? Like, there's no like 2, unless I'm mistaken. But I can't remember anyone where they were like they got 2 in a row and then the match is over.
All right, fair enough.
So I always know one's gonna get it and then the other's gonna get it.
I mean, I don't always agree. I'm sure there's different ways. Like, I'm sure that's not how it always goes. But I get what you're saying. I will say this, you're probably right. The feud probably isn't over because it is continuing on Twitter. Nyla Rose tweets, "I hope you got a splinter in your ass, bitch." And Athena responds, "I hope your hip is broken from that fall and you need Life Alert to get up, you piece of porcelain hot garbage."
Porcelain hot garbage?
Porcelain. It was hashtag porcelain.
Wow.
Hot garbage, not hashtag porcelain hot garbage. It was hashtag porcelain.
I love that. Can you click on porcelain and see what comes up for that hashtag?
Okay.
Is it toilets or dolls?
It's art.
Oh.
Wait a minute.
How disappointing.
Athena had used hashtag porcelain in promoting this match. She said, "Bring on the chaos and destruction because I'm determined to prove that I am the best in the world and that you are a big chunk of hashtag porcelain."
Oh, yeah, because porcelain breaks easily.
Ah.
Like a porcelain doll.
Yeah, no, you're right. I'm seeing a lot of vases. A lot of porcelain vases in the
porcelain vases and, you know.
What an interesting hashtag.
Yeah, that is an interesting hashtag. We should make it a shirt.
But I really did. I liked it, this match. Obviously, we knew this match was going to main event, but it definitely delivered for the main event spot.
100%.
I wonder what's next for Athena. For the last pay-per-view they had, they threw her own minion at her. They threw Nyla Rose at her now, and she comes out on top again. Do we see her return to the dark side? Do we see her continue as a babyface and see new heels step up to the plate? It seemed like almost every woman on the roster has at one point in the past month or two declared their intentions for the television title that's coming. Not really. Only Nyla Rose was talking about this title. So who's coming for it next, Danielle?
Maybe whoever loses the women's TV championship, or like ones that are getting eliminated during the thing, will start feuding with her or try to come after that title because they didn't get the TV title.
Maybe. I mean, that's probably likely. As the second round gets underway, we're probably going to see more women who could realistically contend with her get into it. Right. Maybe, yeah, we'll have to wait and see what's up. But also, maybe this doesn't end here. For like I said, I'm just not sure where they go after a 2 out of 3 fall table match.
I don't know. I think Nyla's going to continue. Nyla's relentless.
She is relentless. Maybe Nyla Rose pretends that Athena won her respect, and now Nyla Rose pretends to be a minion because she still wants to take over the minions, but she's not going to do it from the inside.
I don't think that's going to happen.
And then eventually we realize that Athena and Nyla Rose have so good chemistry that they're just kind of like, okay, you know what, Nyla, we started this where you were going to be pretending, but now we think you're actually going to be an Athena minion because you guys are great together.
Or maybe Nyla is going to make Athena a minion.
No.
Yeah.
Maybe Nyla is going to make Athena a hat that says hat. And a championship belt that says championship belt.
If Nyla becomes women's champion and doesn't make a belt that says belt, I'm going to be so fucking upset. Or champion, at least championship.
She needs to just make a new championship herself that just says championship. Be like, of course I'm the champion. Do you not see the belt? Do you
Brady,
not see what the belt says?
Let's tweet that at her.
Okay.
I bet you she'll respond.
You do that, and I support
No, you do it.
What the fuck? You said let's. You said we, and now you're trying to make it me.
Yeah.
You fucking me.
Just do it. I think she would respond to it.
Okay.
We'll say you had a hat that says hat, a shirt that said shirt. You need a belt that says belt. Right?
Right.
That's nice and simple. And I'll put hashtag fuck porcelain.
That's the money. That's how we get that retweet. That's definitely how that happens.
That's how it's gonna happen. I'm doing it.
Do it.
I'm gonna do it.
There's nothing left to do but do it.
Yeah. So going into the women's tournament, who do we have left and who's facing whom?
So forceful with your questions.
I was asking nicely.
I mean, were you though? It seemed like you were really demanding an answer.
I never demand. I always ask super nicely.
Fair enough.
Please and thank you.
Okay. Well, let's get into it then. As I did mention earlier, Red Velvet will be facing Nyla Hirsch in the next round. We did hear Red Velvet cut a promo about her next round match. So take that for what you will. Like she's got the momentum. She's got, I really did think going into this tournament, Red Velvet was going to be someone possibly Final Four. I really thought she had a great shot to possibly win this tournament. So I'm going to kick this off. I'm thinking Red Velvet. I'm thinking there's a chance Rachel Ellerling might accidentally cost Nyla Hirsch this match.
I think it's completely the other way around. I think Nyla Hirsch is going to take it, and Rachel Ellerling is going to help her win. Yeah,
interesting. That would be a nice wrinkle. It's funny. These matchups are tough to predict because now the second round's getting tough. This is where it gets down to the nitty gritty.
But this is how it should be. This should have been like this the whole time. I shouldn't know who's going to win.
Right. You know what it was? I think they didn't want any of these women to lose in the first round, even if it was competitive. Like, I think they were just kind of like, you know what? Let's at least allow all these women to be able to say, I made it to the second round. I made it to the semis or whatever they're calling it. After Billie Starkz won her match tonight, we got a Billie Starkz promo. She was talking about the fact that the TV title is mine. It's my title. This tournament is for me. I lost at Final Battle, but I'm not losing again because none of you women are better than Athena, which means I'm better than all of you. We're going to see Billie Starkz take on Diamante in the next round. Danielle, I'll let you kick this one off.
I want Diamante to win because I do not want to lose that entrance music. I want to hear it every single week. But I gotta go. I think Billy Starks is taking it.
Yeah, no, 100% Billy Starks is taking it. Great promo.
It sounded a little goofy.
She started a bit rough, and that's Billy Starks is still getting comfortable and still
right.
She's young. It's on and off, it's hot and cold, exactly. But I did like the content. Like I loved how I loved the line about none of you are better than Athena, because she did. That's the story we've got to go on. She took Athena to the limit. They made it so that Athena did respect her more than when that match started. They set it up where Billy Starks did almost become the ROH Women's Champion. So really, Billy Starks, at the very least, should be coming in with the confidence of a million wildebeest, coming in just kind of like, no one can beat me. I almost won the ROH Women's Champion. Obviously, this TV title is mine.
Right. 100%. So, I mean, it would be weird if they had her lose this round.
I mean, you never know.
I know, but I don't see it.
All right, what do you see about this next one? We got
Jesus Christ. I'm very upset about this one.
Women's champion Mercedes Martinez taking on Abaddon. Yeah, it feels like they're not really like. There's a lot of these matches where it seemed logical for certain women to face off, and instead of like building up to it, like we kind of talked with Rachel Elling and Layla Hirsch facing each other in just the first round, just skipping to it, as opposed to letting them work their way up to each other. This match could have easily been like a who makes it to the quarter, semi, who makes it to the finals. But we're getting it now. We're getting the monster mayhem that is Abaddon versus Mercedes Martinez.
I just like to point out this match is going to be amazing.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun one.
This is going to be a fun one because Mercedes Martinez is not going to give a shit about the Abaddon character. She's not going to give a shit about any of it.
Which I enjoyed from tonight's match against with Abaddon.
Oh yeah,
where she wasn't really giving in too much, and then I like that in the tournament. Intimidation factor will only get you so far because we're all beasts. Should essentially be the narrative being spun.
Right. Man, this is a tough one.
This is tough because we kind of were talking about when Mercedes kind of made her return to Ring of Honor in this tournament and gets the big win. We're kind of like, okay, wait a minute. The mood just changed. They're really putting over heavy how she's a former ROH Women's Champion. She's a legend of this company. She could be a great person to be the final boss, to be to make the finals. But at the same time, Abaddon really looked great tonight. It looked like it kind of like set me like, okay, wait a minute, she could make it far. And the commentary did put over how like Abaddon's coming, but can she take down a former women's champion? We're gonna see. So it's interesting. Yes.
Mercedes Martinez is a former women's champion?
Yes.
Ha, just kidding, because they say it all the time in commentary.
Oh,
you know what? I'm going Mercedes Martinez. I think she's gonna end up being in the top, like the last couple of ones.
Yeah,
it's not the big bad.
I'm gonna agree with you, and it's only because, as you said, they are mentioning it all the time. But I actually like they're mentioning it all the time, and they're doing it for a reason. Somebody's gonna take Mercedes Martinez out, whether it's going to be to get to the semis, to get to the finals, whether it's going to be to win the whole thing. But that whoever does it will have taken down a former women's champion, and that's going to be a big heavy feather in the cap and a big reason for us to think, okay, wait a minute, this person might win the whole fucking thing.
Right.
So, yeah, I'm going to have to go Mercedes with this one again. And that takes us to the big one. Cannot believe this match is only happening in the second round. This match could have easily been the finals of the whole thing. Taya Valkyrie TV versus Queen Aminata.
Man, I saw this matchup and I was like, wait, what? We're getting this the second round already? Because I had Queen Aminata taking it all. So, like, I don't know what they're going to do. This is another one. This is even worse than Mercedes and Abaddon. I don't know. This is tough.
Well, here, take a second to think about it. We've got Whitey Wazoo in the Twitch live chat. Says Abaddon just has such a great look, but she is just missing something. I don't know what it is. Do you agree? What is it?
Storyline. We don't get to see. Yeah, she has a character, but she doesn't have a character with a storyline. She doesn't have like her being an Abaddon and being weird and doing this weird stuff and any storyline of backstage stuff. It's just her cutting
the entrance. We see the theatrics in the ring, but we don't see promo. We don't hear promos. We don't get like vignettes. We don't really
vignettes would help.
Or even somebody getting pairs, somebody getting added to the act. That is Abaddon. Doesn't have to be a manager or a tag partner per se, just something getting, for example, Tony Storm getting Luther, right? Like he added so much to it before they added any, like, so just something. I agree. I think I like Abaddon and I think that's what threw me off, because I don't necessarily know if she's missing something. The presentation, the overall way we're seeing her being used and being presented to us in Ring of Honor is missing something.
We talked about that tag team, the Righteous. No, that's not their name. What's their name?
The Righteous.
I call them. Is that what they are? Yeah, right.
Yeah.
The Righteous. It always makes me think of Righteous Gemstones, and I think I'm wrong. No. It is Righteous. The Righteous. If they had a vignette and back and stories too, because they're good, and that's what's missing from them too. I want little vignettes and little things with them to show their character, and it's not just, oh, we see them, they do this stuff, and then they wrestle. We don't want that. I want more stuff, like behind the scenes stuff, and I think that's the thing that's missing with Abaddon.
Yeah, and a lot of people, I think you could say that about Ring of Honor. I think the fact that Whitey Wazoo is saying that in particular, or feeling that way about Abaddon, really is a testament to Abaddon. I think really what's happening is Whitey Wazoo and probably many others are feeling, I need more, I want more from this character who's captivating my attention, who's making me think these things and feel these feelings during her match. Give me more, Ring of Honor. Don't just give me this match.
100%. Just give me more. I want to see more.
Speaking of give me more, I think that's what we're going to be saying when this match does happen, of TV, Taya Valkyrie and Queen Aminata. It's a tough one because Taya Valkyrie really seems like she's coming in strong. Like this, I believe she's the only woman who's still undefeated in Ring of Honor who's in this tournament. Has not lost in Ring of Honor at all, I believe.
Ooh, I don't know that.
She is undefeated, and I'm pretty sure she's the only one who can say that. We did hear from Queen Aminata, and I loved this.
What a great promo. She was clear and conscious and direct in what she was saying. I want the old Taya. I don't like this one. This one's flamboyant. This one does this. This one comes out with her husband. No, that's not the one I want.
Easy mirror version. I want Wera Loca Taya. Like, and then of course she continues to put over that she is the only African female pro wrestler, and it's bigger than her. She wants to be the first ever TV champion and bring that home to Africa. It was a powerful promo. It was a big time promo, and it was something she needed, not just because of how much hype she's getting in Ring of Honor and in this tournament, not just because of how much hype she's getting in AEW now, that, as we said on our program, The Heel Marks, she just got officially the Welcome to AEW graphic. She got her first win on AEW television recently against Anna Jay. But right before we cut to this Queen Aminata promo, we saw a promo of, or I guess a commercial or whatever, with about like a welcome to AEW interview happening with Renee Young, basically. Like, it's very much it ends with like, can't wait to see more from you in AEW. Me too, let's go. It just begins, like everything we saw was very much Aminata's in AEW now. Big things are coming. And listen, that's great. That is great. And a lot of people, myself included, are going to begin thinking, oh man, she's probably not going to be in Ring of Honor too much anymore. What are the odds that she's about to win this tournament? And then, but at the same time, Ring of Honor, they give people Ring of Honor championships all the time before they bring them to AEW. Like they
gave someone a Ring of Honor championship, and he hasn't been on Ring of Honor since.
Most of the people who win Ring of Honor championships are actually in AEW more often than anything. So really, this means nothing. And this promo, if you needed a reminder that this means nothing, that promo was a great reminder. Like she's still a force, and that promo almost made me want her to win. TV's been like this whole time, but like that promo was like, you know what? Fuck it. Queen Aminata should win.
Queen Aminata hasn't lost in ROH either, right?
No, she has. I don't know if she's lost singles matches, but she has been in multi-women matches where she didn't win.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna say Taya Valkyrie's gonna win because, and this is such a stupid my stupid logic. I think when Johnny TV eventually has his match with Dalton's gonna win, and I don't think both of them are gonna win. I don't think Johnny TV would win and Taya Valkyrie, so I'm going to give it to Taya Valkyrie.
Okay.
This is my weird logic of thinking because I had Queen Aminata winning this whole thing, and now I'm questioning it because she's going against Taya. Because I said Queen Aminata.
I resent you even doing this. I feel like you have to stick with your pick till the end. You have to stick with Aminata. I'm sticking with TV, and I feel like we there's no predictions.
Wait, TV's the one you think is taking it all, right?
I predicted TV to win the whole thing. Just like you
I just realized we both have our predictions in the same match.
Me versus you here. Really, we've made our predictions already.
You're right. All right. I'm staying with Queen Aminata. You're right.
That's right. You are. One of us will be right. One of us will continue.
One of us will be sad next week.
This is not sad. This is not Taya Valkyrie versus Queen Aminata. This is Brady versus Danielle. Finally.
I love Brady versus Danielle. Finally.
In the women's TV title tournament the way it should be.
We both better get an entrance. At least we know both our people are getting
That's right. We get entrances. That's right. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in with us every single Thursday, as you do as soon as Ring of Honor is over. Mark of Honor begins. Once again, do not forget to support BodySlam.net. All the shows they put out. Go to slamchats.com with your donations. Make sure you're hitting like, you're hitting subscribe, you're hitting share, and of course, never be shy with those comments. Follow us everywhere at The Heel Marks. Tune in for the Heel Mark Show. We film it every single Sunday, possibly Saturday this week. We post it on Monday. Guys, you are the best. We're trying just to be like you. Do not forget, we're not just smart marks, we're heel.